Where y'all at? I had some issues with the first stream, so I had to cut that one off and restart it. What up? Yeah, we about to talk about some stuff. Ego Army in the building. Gang. Man. Yo, did you guys get notified of this stream? Wow. Hold on 1 second, people. Hold on 1 second. What's up with Gracie Poo? Hold on 1 second, please. I'm just trying to go through the particulars, people. All right, cool. I should be pretty caught up. All right, first of all, let me start off by saying this. I literally just got back. I was driving, long day of flying. For some reason, the flight there to New York didn't take, it only took like 5 hours. The way back took like 6 hours and 30 minutes. Plus I took the train back. I'm tired, but I gotta get it in, man. Pause. And we gotta talk about this shit. First of all, you know I'm not no hater. Shout out to my dude Ness. Shout out to the Boxing Voice and all my people at the Boxing Voice. I've linked to their video in the description. Please, if you're not fuck if you're Ego Army fan of me, because in the end, new media, boxing, ego, we want to do what's right. And what the Boxing Voice just had on their show was an instant classic to me. And to my defense or whatnot, I haven't watched the whole thing, but I heard enough of what I needed to hear to know that it was lit. According to the title, I guess Tyson Fury popped in or something. So it was just crazy. So let me, again, link in the description. Listen to it, support them. This is what boxing needs. Very good journalism, very on point show. So basically they had this is the setup. They had the Boxing Voice panel. They were on the phone with Eddie Hearn. I fast forward a little bit because I was driving and stuff. They get Deontay Wilder on the phone. Wilder's promoter or manager or whatever, Shelly, got on the phone. Then I guess Tyson Fury popped in. It was crazy. Definitely using technology to his advantage, man. That was great stuff, and we got to support that as boxing fans. Real shit. Let's do a roll call real quick. I just like to see where y'all are from. I don't want to derive from my program, so let me know where you're at. City, state, zip, and then we're gonna get into what you guys see in the title, man. City, state, zip, bang, where you from, rep where you from. Let me know what's good. Brockton, Beaumont, Texas, Indiana, Madeira, Vegas, New Zealand, 408, Chicago, San Antonio, South Bend, Indiana, Bronx, Mississippi, be more, stand up. My girl Gracie Poo from the 213, LBC, 510-719, Cincinnati, Jackson, Mississippi, Fort Worth, Texas. Peace, Ego. Peace to you. I have fun in Brooklyn. You're from Brooklyn. Spread love. It's the Brooklyn way. Indianapolis, Pasadena, Chattanooga, Tennessee, Chicago, New Haven, Connecticut, UK, Brooklyn, Inglewood, Chicago, Compton, CPT, Brooklyn, Pennsylvania. Man, what's up with Meek Mill? I heard he got to sit down for like 2 to 4 years. That's crazy. Probation violations. North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Fort Lauderdale, DC. See, we well represented. All right, we'll do another one at the end, man. I got to talk about this. This was just eating at me. Again, shout out to the Boxing Voice. Watch their videos. Subscribe if you're not, where you guys should be. It was epic podcast. Now, where do I begin? And I'm not taking credit because this is all the doing of the Boxing Voice, the entertainment. You know what I'm saying? But I will say, as a member of media, new media, you guys know what I rep. You know, Ego Army, Ego Mafia. We are the mob, money on top of boxing. We push the needle forward, and we try to. You know what I'm saying? We try to keep this stiff going. And listen to what I always tell you guys. What I always tell you. Listen to what people say then, and listen to what they say now. And if you notice, regarding this Joshua Wilder, I've maintained my substance, I've maintained my consistency, and I've consistently said the same thing, right? This is not throwing shade, or like I said, a lot of people trying to turn this to USA versus UK. It's none of that. It's a good fight that should and could happen realistically next. And there's some hurdles, the business side, A side. And what Eddie Hearn was saying on the Boxing Voice, it didn't sound, I'm from the old school. There's a word called copacetic. What he was saying, it sounded like he was like fumbling, tripping, and stumbling over his words. Like it didn't, I don't know, man. If you from the street, or you've been around the streets, you get a different depth perception of different people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to explain, but come out to the Bay. There's a lot of maney and seedy characters and situations you don't want to be around. So you got to have your head on a swivel and know how to move and pivot. You know what I'm saying? And the Bay Area, particularly, where I've spent most of I've traveled around. I used to live in England, I told y'all. But the Bay Area particularly, like Tupac said, it gave me the game. The Bay Area is a home of hustlers and players, like the Black Panthers, pimps, like, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of that going on. Rapping Forte, all that stuff, man. Drew Down. Can you feel me? I said I'm doing what I gotta do, stanch. You know what I'm saying? That's how we move in the Bay. It's just like other places, I'm sure, New York, where we move fast. So you gotta know a con man. You gotta know when you being con, when somebody is. Oh my! Angel said Ness basically had Eddie in the hot seat. Oh my! That's a good way to put it. Listen, you gotta, like I said, listen to what people say then and now. And I'm gonna try. I should have wrote notes or some shit, because that's how serious I am about preserving boxing and trying to make the best fight. The things that didn't really add up is, see, like, you gotta know how people. Eddie Hearn's a promoter. His biggest asset right now that I can think of is Anthony Joshua. That's the guy that's ladies like, selling the most tickets, doing the most venues, has an entertaining style, things like that. And you know, see, this is like, I pick up, like I said, if you're from the Bay or if you're from areas that are similar, you know how to move and finagle and wiggle. That's what we call it on the Bay. You know how to wiggle. And you could see the plays before they come up. Now, one thing I noticed was when Eddie Hearn was just talking to the Boxing Voice, he was talking a little bit more greasy. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was just like more loose-lipped about it. But then when Wilder jumped on the horn, he was like, I can't fight you. I can't make you shut up. Like, his whole, the way he was talking before, it seemed a bit toned down when Wilder jumped on. That's my perception while I was driving, listening to the Boxing Voice. It seemed like when Wilder hopped on, Wilder was, and that's why I said in the title, Wilder gets gangsta on Eddie Hearn, because he was bossing up on him, right? Before Wilder called, he was saying, listen, Wilder's team, they're not proactive. They're not trying to make the fight. They don't want to make the fight, or if they do, that's just what it's basically like. That's what they're telling the public, but they're not making no motions. And then when Wilder got on, he kind of checked him. Wilder was like, he's like, come on, Eddie, you know you're not being truthful here. He says, I seen the emails. He said, I seen from my manager Shelly the communication. And he said, when Pulev pulled out, you said you hit us up saying we'll fight Dillian White with the AJ guarantee. And he's like, I seen the emails. And with the AJ guarantee, the Dillian White thing could be sold up. You know what I mean? And Eddie Hearn was like vehemently denying it, like saying like, no, that wasn't. And he's like, yes, it was. He's like, when Pullitt pulled out, this is around the time frame where we had the correspondence. You said basically you'll add AJ as part of the deal, right? And Eddie Hearn's denying it, but Wilder's saying he's seen the emails. But then Wilder, hey, you know how they say, no disrespect, you know what I'm saying, but you know how they say people from the South are a little bit slower, like the way they move. Wilder was very quick-witted in this interview, very quick-witted, and I'm gonna tell you what he did that I really liked. He said, okay, fuck it. Even though I know, he said, I'm gonna play devil's advocate. Even though I know I seen the emails from Shelly and there's email corresponding, and you never got back with us once you seen how real we were, right? Deontay Wilder said, okay, this is what I do. Not to toot my own horn, but this is the same thing I be doing in the hot seat, where you assume the standpoint of the other person. Like, okay, I'm gonna play devil's advocate, and I'm gonna look at it through your set of lenses, what you're telling me, right? And then we're gonna break it down like that. So that was very smart from Wilder. Very smart from Wilder. He said, even though I seen the emails from Shelly, and I know that's not true, he said, I'm gonna play devil's advocate anyway, and I'm gonna pretend that the negotiations or correspondence through email never happened. He said, you could clear it up right now. You could say it right now on the horn that it's a done deal in front of all these viewers. And I remember, because I was flying from New York, I don't know what it maxed out at, but when I seen it, it had like 600 people watching the live stream concurrently. You know what I mean? And as more people got wind of it, it could have went up, because like I said, it was epic. It was an epic like episode or podcast, because you had all the players involved, right? And Wilder really pressed him with that, because he was like, okay, pretend it never happened. You can set this record straight. And then what Ness did, Ness was jumping in with the assist. He said, you're a young, savvy promoter. Everybody got iPhones. You could call AJ right now. Call him on three-way, and we could clear this up right now. Ingenious. And that's how you, just like I try to do in the hot seat, that's how you break down when the lies, and like when you start, see, this is an OG told me this. See, the thing with the lie is, if the moment someone questions your lie, it can't just be that one lie, right? You got to make up another lie to, if someone questions it, you know what I'm saying? So I just went to New York, and let's say I was lying. I was like, yeah, man, when I was out in New York, I met up with Rihanna and I slept with her, right? The moment somebody questions anything about the experience, I got to come up with another lie, right? So if I'm lying and saying I slept with Riri, right? And then you say, oh, where'd you meet her? Then I got to make up a lie, because it didn't happen. So, I met her at the 40/40 club. Okay, cool. What did she say to you? That's another lie. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it becomes a web of deceit and snowballs. You know what I'm saying? Because the moment someone questions you, you have to come up with something else. You know what I mean? So that's why new media it's always more beneficial to just call it fair, call it realistic, call it how you see, and it's less trouble. And the other thing with a lie, if you are lying or not being 100% truthful, then it could come back to bite you, because you have to have a good memory and store all of those different things you've said in various interviews, and you have to remember that. You know what I'm saying? But I like what Ness did. He said, call Joshua on three-way. You know what I'm saying? Why not? Why not? And you know he wasn't going to do that. That would have been, I mean, it was already epic as is, but if they got Joshua on the horn too, that would have been crazy. I seen a radio interview a while ago with Gerald Big Baby Miller and Deontay Wilder both on the horn, and that was crazy. They were just going ham on each other. So imagine the fight we all want to see, AJ versus Wilder, if they were both on the horn. But Wilder he stunted on him, like, for the simple fact he said, you could, okay, pretend everything I seen was a lie. I'm gonna play devil's advocate. You could clear it out right now. Say you're going to put the guarantee in there. Like I said, it's not looking good. And I told you guys, listen to what people say then and listen to what people now. And you'll see it's very apparent, and it's been apparent to me, the major hindrances of this fight. Now, this is the other thing where I always tell you, like, listen to what people are saying, and you got to watch how people move. And this is not, I'm not bashing. I've interviewed Eddie Hearn. He's a cool dude. I think he's a good promoter, but there's something it sounds like he's withholding regarding the Wilder Joshua, because to me, Eddie Hearn was playing semantics, right? He said something in the interview where he's like, yeah, a lot of people, they just keep saying, I said, Deontay Wilder, you must fight Dillian White in order to get AJ, right? He's like, I never said that. And he's like playing like he's shocked that people, he's playing like he's shocked that people would come up with this notion that he wants the Dillian White fight. He was like, I was just making that. I wanted to raise Wilder's profile. I think it's good for him. A good fight, because he said something, the same old stuff. Wilder, he doesn't have a name that stands out like a Klitschko, so that would raise his stock and raise his profile. And I remember on my show, I had someone in the hot seat who was using those same talking points, and I buried them. And then you guys voted and gave them the L, and then they were out of there. Because for one, listen, how come I can make videos and I don't even have 200,000 followers, but I'm making videos under that, and especially when I made the videos, and they have over 200,000 views. They have more views than I have subscribers regarding Wilder Joshua. How come the Boxing Voice can do a podcast and have all these people basically talking about AJ, Wilder, and Tyson Fury, and it's a hit? Everybody's talking about it. So once again, the whole build-up shit to me is bogus and it's false. Point blank period. Because this, my friends, this is the build-up. The moment Takam lost and Joshua remained perfect, and the moment Stavern was looking like this and Wilder was looking like this is the build-up. This is the build-up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you called it. Oh, you said I'm cold? Nah, I'm not cold. I'm just being honest. I'm saying the bit coming off of, okay, a guy you did not stop, and then you fold him up like a lawn chair in one round and make a huge statement. Listen, can we get the likes up to 100? I'm gonna really go in on this one, cause like this, remember I always talk to, this is about boxing. It's not, oh, I like ego, I don't like ego. It's about boxing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna show y'all something. Can we get the likes up to 100 so I can show y'all and prove my point? I was actually gonna make a separate video, but y'all fucking with me on the live stream, so we could talk about it right now, exclusively. You know what I mean? Listen. Listen, care. I paused the music for you guys. Wilder Joshua is big now. Pause. And I'm going to prove it to you. If y'all want me to prove it, give me a hell yeah. And I'll prove it. Somebody put me on a timer, right? After you guys give me the hell yeah, I'll prove it within 2 minutes. Just give me 2 minutes. Say hell yeah, give me 2 minutes, and I guarantee you I could prove it. I could prove it. So if you want me to prove it within 2 minutes, and y'all put me on a timer, give me a hell yeah. Couple more hell yes. All right, somebody put me on the timer. Somebody put me on the timer. I said 2 minutes, I could prove it. Right? Okay. So let's go. The reason I know that all the Dillian White and the decoys and all that stuff is not applicable is because, one, I've already showed you this in a past stream. Everybody is talking about this Wilder knockout, right? For example, the Wilder knockout made it to the Breakfast Club. The Breakfast Club is a very popular East Coast base with Charlemagne and all that, and they gave Bermane Stiverne the donkey of the day. You know what I'm saying? And not the whole episode, but
you promised to God.
You know what I mean? He's just talking about how Bermane promised that he was gonna kill Wilder, and he came up short. So you have a very popular contemporary show, right? And they're talking about the Stiverne knockout. 1. Go to, this is how you know, and I told you that fights that become mega, like Mayweather McGregor, is more than just casuals. It's more than just diehards. You get pop culture and you get casual people, right? You get casual people involved. Damn, y'all really timing me. Okay. So Mike Epps, 3.2 million followers, right? 3.2 million followers. And he's posting about it. I follow Mike Epps for the longest, and he's talking about who y'all got in this fight. Thank God the heavyweight game is back. He has 3 million followers, and he's talking about this particular fight. I know he boxes with Ricky Funes and stuff like that, but he doesn't typically talk about boxing. But yet he's interested. He just posted this earlier today, 12 hours ago, right? Odell Beckham with the Giants, verified page. What does this say? Wilder versus Joshua would be, and he put the question mark, right? Odell Beckham, a football player with the Giants, 3.2 million people on Twitter, right? 3.2, and he's talking about Wilder Joshua, right? Follow me. Hold on. I probably got like 30 seconds. I should have said 2.5 minutes. Shaquille O'Neal, very popular basketball player, commentator, right? And he, oh, I can't find his shit. I don't know if he deleted it. But anyway, Shaquille O'Neal, I have the video. He was talking about it. Oh, here it is. My bad. Hey. I can't show it because Showtime be tripping.
Yeah. Okay.
And he said, Bronze Bomber, a.k.a. Deontay Wilder, is the truth. I was watching the fight like, don't be scared, Joshua. Right? That's, again, these aren't even, like, routine. Like it'd be one thing if it was Rosie. He has 6.5 million followers, right? So y'all can stop the timer right now. But he has 6.5 million followers. And my thing is, like, I can understand if it was Rosie Perez, right? If it was Rosie Perez, because she's at all the fights, she's always talking about boxing. But these are people who probably like boxing, but they kind of come out for the bigger fights. And they're talking about Wilder Joshua. They know the names, right? And like I said, I never see Mike Epps, Odell Beckham, and Shaquille O'Neal routinely talk about Lomachenko, Rigondeaux, stuff like that, right? So, to me, that whole, we got to build it up through Dillian White. Shaq knows Joshua because he put his name. Mike Epps knows Joshua because he put his name, and Wilder. Odell Beckham, nobody's talking about Dillian White. Nobody's talking about, oh man, Wilder, we got to see him get past Dillian White, and then we know we're on to something, right? And in the interview with the Boxing Voice, Eddie Hearn talking about 12 months. For what? Why? The heavyweight division is clear, like there's levels to it. There's not that many people that people are going to want to see you fight other than each other. Like, you know what I'm saying? What are you talking about? 12 months? 12 months? Why? Crazy. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like the Canelo Triple G situation. Very similar. The fans, listen. All that marinating shit Oscar was talking about. Why are the fans pressing Canelo in every interview asking about Golovkin before the fight was made? Asking Golovkin about Canelo if we weren't ready and it needed to marinate. You know what I'm saying? So that whole marination thing doesn't even make sense when the public keeps talking about it. The champ, Wilder, keeps calling out Joshua. Joshua himself hasn't really aggressively called out Wilder, but he's mentioned that it's a big fight and it must happen and everybody wants to see it. Eddie Hearn's admitting that everyone wants to see it. So what's the problem? Like, really? Like, you know what I'm saying? What is the problem? It's like everybody's in agreement. Everybody's in agreement. And back to this Eddie Hearn comments on the interview. He's playing semantics, in my opinion, acting like this whole Dillian White. I never said Wilder absolutely has to fight Dillian White, but you were the only one that mentioned Wilder and Dillian White, and Dillian White himself. You know what I'm saying? So you pretty much got the ball rolling on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's like me saying, if y'all don't start donating and giving me super chats, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to sustain the channel and put out as many videos. So if I say something like that, I didn't directly say if you don't donate, I'm gonna stop making videos, but that's pretty much what I've said. You know what I'm saying? So you didn't directly say Dillian White or no Joshua, but you also brought up Dillian White when nobody was talking about seeing Wilder fight the guy that got knocked out by the guy he's calling out. You guys get me? Does that make sense to you? Does that it makes sense to me? I want to know if it makes sense to you. So again, you're the one that created the Dillian White agenda. And again, if we're going off performances, Dillian White coming off his performance, going the distance in a lackluster fight with Robert Helenius, who got stopped by a opponent that Wilder knocked out, Johan Duhaupas. That didn't really gear people up. So I don't really see this the Dillian White victory. Like, for the people who are saying bum squad and all that, I really don't see them praising Wilder through the roof for beating a guy that already lost to Joshua, unless he were to keep going and you know what I mean, beat Gerald Big Baby Miller, Luis Ortiz, or you know what I mean, a couple guys like that, Amir Mansours and stuff, just fight more people, and then the name would be something people would give credit for. You know what I'm saying? and the thing is, if I'm not mistaken, Gerald Big Baby Miller is being like in cahoots without Eddie Hearn, right? That's a perfect fight. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, instead of Dillian White coming off the Helenius performance, which wasn't even great, and he got hurt in the second round, and the fight itself didn't deliver, right? Like, in terms of excitement. Instead of him coming off, why don't you, since you're working with Gerald Big Baby Miller, why don't you put together that fight? Dillian White versus Gerald Big Baby Miller. Now that's a fight where, like, for me, if those two fight each other, given what they've already done, you know what I mean, beat the Fred Cassies and stuff like that, right? Robert Helenius, then I can understand maybe getting a title shot. Hold on, I think we got a hot seat victim. Moses Placienza says, "Come on, mate." Come on, what? What are you talking about? Please clarify, so you don't get blocked out of the chat. Come on, mate, what? Oh, you're about to get that work. You talking about come on, mate? Like I said, like, again, see, listen, all my real ego army, all my real boxing fans, just listen to what's out there. Name one thing that I said that was illogical, wasn't reasonable, wasn't factual, you know what I mean? Or just totally doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? People act like they disagree, but they don't tell you what they're disagreeing with. That's the problem. But anyway, to me, it's the same thing I said. Same thing I said. It looks like it's Team Joshua's side for whatever reason that chooses. And like I said, shout out to Wilder, because Wilder was Wilder keeps, it's almost frustrating if you think about it. Wilder's saying the same thing. There could be one name, one face, and that's Deontay Wilder. I want to unify. Like, he's saying the same exact thing each and every time. He's very consistent. Calling out Joshua. I guess if you want, he's even talking greasy. He's talking reckless. You know what I'm saying? Not saying he can't back it up, but he's coming for Joshua. There's some venom there. Because I was at the press conference, and at the press conference, he said, and there ain't going to be no rematch and trilogy and all that because of what I do with him in the first fight and how badly I beat him. They're not going to want to have a second or third fight. That's what Wilder said. So he's doing all of this, and he said at the press conference, he said it on the Boxing Voice today, he said, Mansoor, fuck out of here, you lost to Gerald Washington. Bro, you don't want it with me. You will get destroyed. Amir Mansour, he lose it wasn't like a split decision or something like that. And besides, if you listen, this is what a lot of you idiots do in the comment section. I could say 5 different names, and you'll take the one you like least and make that the catalyst of, as if that's what I was trying to say. If you notice, the very first words out of my mouth was Dillian Whyte versus Gerald Big Baby Miller, and I said that's a fight I would like to see, right? That's what I said. But now you want to bring up Amir Mansour. I don't give a fuck if he fights Amir Mansour or he doesn't. I'm just saying, after getting stopped by Joshua, people want to see the 2 undefeated guys, Joshua and Wilder, fight each other. It has nothing to do with Amir Mansour. I was just throwing out names of guys who were ranked or somewhat respected or have attributes like power or whatever, that you have to go through those guys to build up and get a championship fight. Like I said, if Dillian Whyte beat Gerald Big Baby Miller, then that would be a step in the very right direction for trying to get AJ again, or trying to get Deontay Wilder, because that's more of a statement. So Amir Mansour was just one name that I randomly said, but the first name I said, you didn't want to talk about that. You want to talk about the last guy I said, which was Amir Mansour. See, that's how they, like I said, like Tupac said, they're only here to cause distractions. They want to be distracted. They want you to shift your energy away from the real subject. Really, this is about Wilder and Joshua and this interview, right? And we're talking about little circumstantial other things that have stuff to do with the heavyweight division. And they'll take the most insignificant point that you were making, and then they try to focus, oh, Amir Mansour, what, are you kidding me? Come on, mate. Who cares about Amir Mansour? I'm just throwing out names, and that was literally the last name that I threw out. Moving on. The fight doesn't need to be built up. Wilder made a statement. Joshua stayed perfect, has all knockouts. They're 2 champions. End of story. You know what I mean? So like this whole 12 months and stuff, like I said, Wilder, and see, like, I don't even understand why people at this point wouldn't even like Wilder. You could say, like, in like, can we put some of this stuff to rest? Like, we're gonna put together a casket right now. All the people, cause like the one thing I detest in boxing is people just recycle the same bullshit. Like when Floyd was fighting Conor McGregor, all the McGregor fans were saying the same thing. Oh, look, it's Floyd Sr., 49-1. I bounce shin bones off my head. I bounce heads off canvases. I dribble. Okay, we get it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all all say the same shit. And when it comes to Wilder, it's the same shit. Bum squad, right? Can we put that to rest? Can we put Bum Squad to rest? Because it's clear that he's not the one failing drug tests and avoiding himself. The whole windmill Wilder, can we put that to rest? Can we put that in the casket? Like, to the point where we're gonna still have people that say it, but we need to make them feel stupid for saying it. You know what I'm saying? Make them feel stupid for mentioning Windmill Wilder. Because as far as I'm concerned, right? This is my honest thoughts. As far as I'm concerned, right? Let me get to it. Hold on. If let's say you're throwing windmills. If the end result is this shit, then keep doing your thing, brother. If this is the aftermath of someone catching a windmill, then I would suggest you don't change anything. Because this is a goddamn 260, 270 pound when he rehydrates man, and he's like, he looks like Dulcine or so. Yoga Flame. Like, that don't even look right, man. That don't look... And he came in exceptionally heavy, and he looks like Dulcine. Yoga Flame. Remember, Dulcine used to be... Yoga Flame. Yoga. Hell no. That don't look right to me. I don't know where you guys are from, but that doesn't look humane right there. You know what I'm saying? So we need to just put that whole windmill shit. Like I said, we can't prevent people from saying the dumb shit, but we could just be like the cool kids over here, and then the people saying that, those are the motherfuckers eating glue and wearing helmets. You know what I'm saying? Like, go that way. Because like I said, the whole windmill shit sounds stupid. Because if you don't have a... Someone said reverse cowgirl. Y'all gotta stop. Y'all chill. Chill. But the whole windmill shit sounds stupid. If that's the result of a windmill, then I want to fight every fight and throw windmills. If that's what's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? If you can, whatever you think he's doing, if this is fucking the result of it, look at it. His head is on the fucking rope like it's a pillow, like he's in a hammock or some shit. You know what I'm saying? His head is literally on the ropes. And his knees are bent backwards. You know what I'm saying? So that people doing all this, oh, windmill Wilder again. I mean, shit. Keep throwing them helicopter blades or whatever the fuck you doing. If that's the result, keep doing that. Keep throwing them type of punches. Do that. Keep doing that. Which Wilder's coach name? Jay? I'll be like, man, go to the windmill. Now I would tell him to do that. If that's the result it's gonna produce, then fuck it. That's how I feel. Like, I mean, people always say this, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. JD's. That's it. I would tell him. Like, and like I said, I made this earlier. I don't see what there is to not like about him. Look at this, what I mean. Your man Wilder was looking like Dragon Ball Z. Hell nah. He really was just standing in the middle of the ring like that. That shit's kind of gangster though. Just to he was looking like Super Boo. Hell nah. Like, how you knock someone down and just be on some Dragon Ball Z shit when they get back up, knowing they hurt? Man, he on his Dragon Ball Z shit. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not messing with that, man. Like, y'all can windmill Wilder and that dude, he was in the center of the ring after the knockdown, looking like Walker Texas Ranger, like a old Western gunslinger, like Tombstone or something. I'll be a Huckleberry. Like, he couldn't wait for Stavern to come back to him. And then he just stood there, and Stavern really came up like this with his guard up, and he was just standing there like, who the fuck are you, Michael Myers? Like, what are you doing? Like, you the Predator? He just stood there, and then he just started and throwing punches. Like, hell nah. That was so funny to me. Like, that, I ain't never seen that. That's crazy. But yeah, all that, like, we gotta just casket that type of stuff. Talking about windmill, but you got a grown man doing the Sierra. Come on, man. He's hitting too hard. And see, like a lot of people, like, I really analyze boxing. That windmill shit is probably what's making him harder to deal with. Because imagine if Wilder was like by the book. You know what I'm saying? What if he was like jab? Like, and he actually has a good jab. But I'm just saying, what if he did everything by the book? But he's using that Alabama Thor power, right? He's using that with a crazy wingspan, and he's coming at you so crazy where it, like, if you probably want to defend, you know what I mean? Because he's so big and he's agile and he's moving. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, to be honest, I don't know. I think that's part of the package. Like it's kind of like Chino Maidana. Chino Maidana, he's awkward. That's why he caught Broner. If he was more straight up and down and more average style wise, like Khabib or Alikverdiyev, and he just had his frame and power, then that would have been easier for Broner. But the fact that he was awkward and tricky, and his punches are coming, like when Broner's on the ropes, they're coming at weird chopping angles. That's what makes him Maidana. Y'all talking about windmills, but look. That man is sitting like Chucky. Hey, Andy, I thought we were friends till the end. Like, why is he sitting like Chucky, though? Like, that's crazy. He looks like a good guy dog, man. Look how he's sitting, bro. You remember when Chucky, like, he didn't want motherfuckers to know he was alive, so he would just, like, be in the doll form and just look like a doll? This dude's sitting like Annabelle or some shit. He's like, hey, John, I need out of this body. Get me out of this body, John. I don't want to be a fucking kid. Sure, how you want it? Broken leg? Like, that shit look crazy. He said Wilder too aggressive. Man, he just... Oh my gosh. We got too many people on the stream because it's saying the connection is bad. Hold on one second. Man, this YouTube shit is tripping, man. YouTube's been annoying me, to be honest. Yeah, man, but like, you guys gotta dead all that, like, all that windmill stuff. Like I said, that's part of the package. But you still, part of the thing is with the windmill shit is you gotta deal with them windmills. You gotta deal with somebody who's coming at you at that pace. Another thing that, to me, for Joshua, is his pacing and stamina. Wilder, I don't really remember Wilder seemingly gassed. Like, he went 12 with Stavern, and Stavern, you know, I mean, Stavern was a champion, and he didn't look, to me, didn't look like he was had nothing in the tank. You know what I'm saying? Joshua has, in his last two fights especially, he looks like he slows down. Actually, Gerald Big Baby Miller mentioned this. He did an interview, and what he brought up was actually pretty I mean, he was talking shit too because he wants to fight Joshua, but what he said was, I understood what he was saying because to me it's kind of true. So you got in the Carlos Takam fight, right? Carlos Takam was losing every round, and Joshua was kind of controlling the pace. You know what I mean? He was controlling the pace, and Joshua still seemed to get a bit tired. See, that's kind of weird when you're fighting at the pace you want to be fighting at and you still get tired. You know what I mean? Like, I can understand, like, Golovkin, that's why Canelo, like, I understand why Canelo ass got tired, because he was kind of new to the division, and Golovkin was putting on so much pressure. He's putting on so much pressure that he's not giving you a chance to rest. You know what I'm saying? So that's the difference. Like, Carlos Takam wasn't doing like what Golovkin was doing to Canelo. So I understood why Canelo got, you know what I mean? Golovkin's a big puncher, and he was staying on top of, like, no matter how hard Canelo hit him, Golovkin was still pressuring him. You know what I mean? But Takam was losing and wasn't controlling the pace, and Joshua still seemed a bit tired. But yeah, y'all check out that TBV interview, man. It was definitely good stuff. And to me, it just seemed like Eddie Hearn, like, it just seemed like he doesn't want to fight right now for whatever reason. And like I said, somebody explain it to me so I can put your ass in the hot seat and bury you, right? Eddie Hearn's like, yeah, I never said that Wilder has to fight Dillian White or no AJ, But then why are we even talking about Dillian White? You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, somebody explain that to me. Somebody explain why we're talking about Dillian White fight. Like, who brought it up? Who was just like, who brought up the Dillian White? To the point of origin that I remember was Eddie Hearn saying it, saying, "Oh, you need to build your profile, and I want you in the O2 Arena in February. You need UK fans." You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand that. Why are we talking about the Dillian White fight if not for Eddie Hearn? Someone please answer that, and I'll probably put you in the hot seat if you're saying stupid shit. Somebody please tell me why we're talking about Wilder versus White. Who brought that up? Because Eddie Hearn was acting like he's like, what? I never said that. But who did? Who brought up? You the promoter of Dillian White. Why are we talking about it? You guys gotta understand boxing. Some of y'all clearly don't. Bermain was squared up from the 1-2 from Wilder. Yeah. But somebody please tell me why the Wilder White fight is being talked about. Who is the point of origin, so we can research it right now? Who is the point of origin that you can recall bringing that up, bringing the fight up, Wilder White? Because it's not like just fans just said, hey, you know what? You know what I mean? Fans didn't do this. Eddie Hearn brought it up. Exactly. See, now this is the other thing. And like, y'all want me to keep going in? I'm going to touch you. No, you're not. But you will get blocked. Blocked. Don't put no weird shit. I'm going to touch you. What does that even mean? Bro, I'm not even in the mood for that. I've been flying all day. Listen. Anyway, here's the other thing. Y'all want me to keep going in? If y'all want me to keep going in, give me a hell yeah. Can I get a hell yeah? If y'all want me to keep going in and tell you what I know, put a hell yeah. If not, we can move on to something else. Alright, y'all want me to keep going? Okay. So, another thing that was not factual that Eddie Hearn said on that Boxing Voice interview, he says Wilder at the Barclays just sold 5,000 tickets, right? He said they sold 5,000 tickets, and Joshua in Cardiff just did 76,000. So he says, you better come read. This was before Wilder got on the horn. He said, so basically he painted the contrast. Wilder at the Barclays sold 5,000, and we did 76,000. So they better come correct with the split and not one no, because we're the A side basically, right? Did y'all hear that? Did everybody hear that? You hear him say that? Y'all want me to go in? I could go in. I want to know who watched the Boxing Voice interview and heard that aspect of it. Did you guys hear him say that? He says he sold 5,000. Best YouTube channel, thank you. He said Wilder did 5,000 at the Barclays, right? And he said we did 76,000. Now, the thing with that, I don't know what they did in Wales, right? But I heard it was over 70,000. But to add 6 to it, you know what I mean? I don't know. I can't confirm or deny. I thought everything I read was saying a little bit over 70,000, right? But he said Wilder, excuse me, did 5,000. But I was at the fight, right? And this is from the PR team. And this is customary. Dear media member, official attendance for tonight's Wilder-Stavern event at the Barclays Center is 10,924. So that's basically 11,000. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I be peeping everything, man. So basically, when it came to your number, you kind of overshot it. From everything I've seen, you overshot the Wales number, because I heard the Wales number was 70,000 plus. Like, but if it said, okay, if it was 76,000, why did all the articles say 70,000 plus? Why wouldn't they round up to if it was over 75? Why wouldn't they at least round up or down to 75? And then when it came to Wilder's number, you sliced it in half, basically. You basically divided it by 2, right? Now, I know, because I've been in the game and I'm new media, you could say PBC, excuse me, PBC comped some tickets, meaning like they gave them out or gave them to a radio show or whatever. First of all, everybody does that because you want a full venue. And I wouldn't be surprised if there weren't some seats in the Wales Cardiff shit that got comped or went for dirt cheap, or, you know what I'm saying, things like that. But I highly doubt they comped 5,000 tickets. And I was at the Barclays and it looked lit. You know what I mean? It was a good crowd. Almost 11,000. The energy was there. People were hyped off the knockout. You know what I'm saying? So that to me, it seems to me like a promoter trick. Seems like a promoter trick. For your number, you made sure you went well over the 70,000 that was reported. It said 70,000 plus. So you know what I mean? I'm thinking 71,000. You said 76,000. And then for Wilder shit, he said 5,000. But then the attendance was just a hair under 11,000. And again, I highly doubt PBC comped 5,000 tickets. And that was just like the Joshua fight. It was a late replacement. You know what I mean? So I really believe if it had been the initial opponent that everybody wanted, Luis Ortiz, then it probably would have been higher than 11,000, because people didn't know what to expect with Stavern. He had inactivity. So, you know what I mean? You got little stuff like that should be cleared up, because you're painting a picture that the Wilder Stavern, he said, oh, he did like 5,000 at the Barclay, but it did 10,009. So like, where'd you get that number? And anyway, I mean, I don't know, because he's a promoter and he's been in the business, so maybe he knows something, but I don't know if they really tell you how many tickets they comp. You feel me? Like, why would PBC want that information out, how many tickets they gave away for free? You know what I mean? So how would Eddie Hearn know that the comp was 5,100 tickets? You know what I'm saying? Oh, wow. See, we got Ego Army in the building. We got Ego Army in the building. Shout out to Ty Law. Shout the fuck out. Listen, he just put an incredible, make sure you guys, his name is Ty Law 24 Gray. Thank him, because this is what boxing needs, the actual factuals. He just put a crazy comment. 11,000 the same night as UFC 217 in the same city is good. Wow. And I think Alabama was playing a game too. But that's a very strong point, because UFC had to me, that was their best card probably this year. You know what I mean? Some people wanted John Jones Cormier, but in terms of cards being stacked, that UFC 217 had the Joanna, it had Wonder Boy on it, you had TJ Dillashaw and Cody Garbrandt championship fight, and they were on that tough show, choking each other and shit. Main event was the return of a classic, one of the guys that ushered in the UFC, GSP versus champion Michael Bisping. See, man, I love Ego Army, man. Ego's Army come with it, with the fact that is, and I was in New York, that was at the Barclays, and then the UFC 217 was at Madison Square Garden. So if you're gonna analyze, you gotta analyze the facts. That's just like when Showtime's airing a fight and HBO has their own card. You know what I mean? Everybody's numbers are gonna suffer. You a weirdo. You were blocked. Y'all can't fuck with me, man. He said you a weirdo. Okay, I'm weird, but you're blocked. And the paycheck is still the same. You a weirdo, okay. As long as I get to cover fights and do what I want to do, be my own boss, and I'll be as weird as I want to be weird. I want to be Johnny Depp weird, motherfucker. But see, and listen, new media, Eagles Army, y'all can hear it. When you notice when I come with points and I'm killing with facts only, it's just random insults. You're ugly, man. Your beard. You're a weirdo. Like, what? Okay, all of that. Yep. I'm a weird, ugly, crackhead, homeless. I beg for donation, whatever. But prove me wrong. That's what I'm waiting for. You know what I'm saying? So, you notice they don't ever have nothing. It's probably someone got their feelings hurt because I told you the UK looking shook right now. And there's no disrespect for the whole UK. I know they have a lot of great fans, but that's just how I see it. And I call it how the fuck I see it. That's it. The UK's looking kind of shook. I don't know if he was talking to me or not, but he said weird. See, if y'all don't attach nothing to it, I'm assuming it's to me. Me and my girl love your channel. Thank you. Appreciate it. But yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. Little promoter trick. Like you gonna say Wilder did 5,000 and I was at the Barclays, and then the fucking they're emailing me the attendance and it wasn't 5,000 for Wilder Stavern. And keep in mind, nobody really wanted to see the Stavern fight, right? We didn't really want to see the Stavern fight more than we wanted to see the Luis Ortiz, myself included. and then like my man said, Ty Law, UFC 217 they had to compete with. That's actually pretty good. 11,000. Imagine if there's no UFC. You know what I mean? Those numbers probably would have went up. Imagine if it was Luis Ortiz. And see, like, listen, I keep saying the same shit. Everybody got to. The other thing, we talked about putting the windmill Wilder in the casket. Here's another thing we need to put in the casket regarding Wilder. Right? We need to put this in a casket. He ain't fought nobody. Because we know there's ready-made names that he could have fought that would have got him all the praise in the world if he were to beat them. And I actually think he would have beat those guys. Right? And he couldn't fight him through no fault of his own. You know what I'm saying? How is that his fault? Povetkin and Luis Ortiz did whatever they did. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the excuses are running thin. It's running thin. I heard Johnny Nelson say the same thing. He's like, "Oh, Wilder, he just doesn't have the name." So if Joshua was scheduled to fight Klitschko and Klitschko failed a drug test and the fight got canceled, Tyson Fury has been on remission or whatever, and then he had to fight somebody else instead, you know what I mean, like a Areola, Dominic Brazil, whoever. As a result, would y'all blame Joshua for that? Because Klitschko failed a drug test? Hypothetically, I'm not obviously putting dirt on Klitschko's name. I'm just saying, if that was what happened, would y'all blame? No, how could you blame Joshua? He trained like a beast. He didn't flunk his drug test, and the other man did. But that's what they keep doing to Wilder, and everybody knows the track record. Everyone knows the history. To me, that actually makes Wilder look more dangerous. Because why is everybody getting? Why are people win, lose, or draw, and they've all lost to Joshua so far, but they're at least not failing drug tests? So then, to me, they're, even if they are cheating, they're getting away with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about all of Joshua's recent opponents. You know what I mean? Yet people, when they come to fight Wilder, they're doing whatever they're doing to the point where they can't even get to the fight because they fail something and the fight gets canceled. So that makes Wilder look more dangerous, to be honest. I'm not going to talk about Wilder's improved jab because I don't think it's improved. I've always seen it. See, the thing is, like, I was talking to Troy King one time, and he actually said this. So shout out to Killatainment, Troy King. He was actually one of the people that said this, and it's very true. He said, I'm pretty sure it was him that said it. He basically said that Wilder be in there playing with certain people. And I'm like, oh, I can see that, but it's very apparent, very apparent. He does. When Wilder's in there, like even with, okay, like when he was in there with Gerald Washington, he was losing rounds, I thought, right? And then he just turned it up. When he was in there with Chris Arreola, he was like dancing and doing some shit. And then he would like uppercut. Do y'all remember that sequence? He was doing like something with his hips, like and then he was like, and then he threw like a nasty uppercut, and it actually caught Chris Arreola. See, I know my boxing. Y'all gotta watch that fight again. He was just like dancing, like he was like dancing, moving his hips or some shit, and then he's just like and he ripped a nasty uppercut that actually caught Chris Arreola. So I think he did. Spilka, I think he was kind of playing in those fights. But both times he fought Stavern, he wasn't really playing. Stavern was talking big shit. Stavern said, I'm going to kill you and have a Coke and a smile and be good and go about my day, right? So I don't think he was playing with Stavern. I don't think he was playing with Stavern. So that's why you've seen that. You've seen Wilder more committed, I guess you could, because it got more personal with him. You know what I mean? Chris Arreola, they were holding signs like I'm innocent or some shit about like racism or whatever. I don't think he hated Chris Arreola like that, right? I don't think he liked Bermane Stavern. So you notice both times he fought them, he fought and he worked behind the jab, jabbed everything, or in the rematch he set everything up with the jab. I mean, actually, you know who's another person? And I'm not, trust me, I'm not comparing them as fighters, but Terrence Crawford be doing that. Just different guys, it's maybe their DNA or whatever. Terrence Crawford, oh shit, hold on. Anyway, what I was saying is Terrence Crawford be doing that. When he was fighting Hank Lundy's and Deary John, he got hit a little bit more, but he was also kind of like, didn't like them, so he was like trying to play around with them and embarrass them and shit like that. He played around with Felix Diaz, but Felix didn't have nothing for him. But then when he fought Victor Postol, he wasn't out there playing. I was at the fight. He wasn't in there playing with him because he knew Postol was a good boxer, good fundamental, slow, but good up and down basic boxer. And he was taller than him, so he wasn't playing. So I think certain guys, they just turned it up for certain people. You know what I mean? But like I said, we got to get past the cliche shit. I see people like, but AJ is no Stavern. No fucking shit. That's why AJ's a champion. No one's comparing him. No one's comparing Stavern to AJ. And just because he got knocked down in the first round, that means AJ will get knocked down in the first round. No one. That's like nobody's remedial. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like super basic. Stavern's no AJ. Yeah, they're different heights, different style. One's a champion. No one's saying that. But see, that's that fear talking. And I'm talking from the fans. When the fans get fearful, they say that stupid shit. Yeah, but AJ's no Stavern. Like who in their right mind is even comparing AJ and Stavern? Like, you know what I mean, as fighters and saying they're the same thing. Nobody. So it's like it goes without saying AJ's not Stavern. But again, I don't think Wilder would be playing with AJ. He knows he's an inch shorter, technical, powerful. So I don't think he'd be like playing around unless he got him hurt or something. I'm just here blazing, enjoying the breakdown. Appreciate you for tuning in. Yeah, but man, we call it double talking. Hearn to me was doing some double talking. He was like, yeah, I never said that Wilder has to fight Dillian White. Like, okay. But y'all want me to keep going? Y'all want some new media? Y'all want some more new media? Y'all want some new? Okay, y'all want more? Sky Sports. Deontay Wilder against Dillian White is the fight to make outside Anthony Joshua, says Eddie Hearn from October 29th. Let's get to the quotes. If Deontay Wilder will travel, there's an easy fight to be made on February 3rd for the WBC title in London, Hearn said. It opens up the division because this is where it's at in the UK. White is in a really good position. He could have a final eliminator for the WBC. He could fight Deontay Wilder. Right? He's gonna fight February 3rd, 02, whatever happens. But ultimately, we want the biggest fight out there outside of AJ, which is Deontay Wilder for Dillian White. See? So it's not so shocking. It's not so shocking that people are saying you're using Dillian White as a shield. Because, again, nobody was talking about that. Nobody was talking about Wilder versus White. They were talking about Wilder versus Joshua. And again, like I said, with the double talking, everyone's making it out like nobody knows who Deontay Wilder is unless he fights in the UK. That's not true. Because Shaq, I just showed you, Mike Epps, Shaq, Odell Beckham, they're all talking about the Wilder-Joshua fight. Right? So I really don't see this whole Dillian White thing is the crescendo. And see, here's the other thing. Why, like, you just listen to what people say, people. It's what I've been telling you, man. Listen. He's talking about Wilder fighting. Just listen. And I want someone to prove me wrong. Just like Wilder is saying, I want someone to shut me up. I want someone to shut me up and prove what I'm saying wrong. Right? Listen. Are you guys listening? Because I feel like I have a point right now. And I want someone to dispute what I'm saying. All right? Do I got everyone's full, undivided attention? I need someone to prove this for me. Prove me wrong with this. Okay. I just showed you the article. Eddie Hearn is talking about Deontay Wilder fighting Dillian White in February. You guys all seen that, right? He says at the O2 Arena in February to build his profile, right? Everyone's seen that. Anybody didn't see it, so I can go over it again, so I can proceed. We all seen that Eddie Hearn says to build or whatever, White versus Wilder in the UK in February. Okay, now I'm not the smartest brother in the world, but right now it's November. The month's already started. So we'll go forward. December, January, February. So February is 3 months away. And you want Wilder to fight at the O2 Arena to further build up Joshua Wilder. You guys follow me? So explain this. If Eddie Hearn really and truly wants to make the fight, and White is the win that'll get the boxing world will get behind Wilder if he beats Dillian White in the UK, and then be like, oh wow, we got to see it. Then why did Eddie Hearn say, I want to make the Joshua Wilder fight in 12 months? Why 12 months? Do you guys get what I'm saying? So if they're going to fight in February, we'll have an outcome between Wilder and White in February. So why is it going to take 12 months from now, which would be next November, next December? Why would it take that long when they're going to fight in February? Why can't they fight in the summertime if Wilder gets past Dillian White? Somebody explain that to me. You know what I mean? Why would it take 12 months? Why can't it, you know what I'm saying? Like Canelo, he fights in May and September. He doesn't fight in May and then 12 months from May. So, and like, it just doesn't make sense. And like I said, the fans are talking about right now. The fans are talking about right now. So what is this build-up stuff? And see, the other thing is, like I keep saying with the double talk, you guys got to understand what double talk is. Eddie Hearn and Joshua have both declared out of their mouth that they understand that the Wilder-Joshua fight people want to see and it must happen. So what is this whole let it marinate and let it build up if you had already acknowledged that everyone wants to see the fight? You know what I mean? And Eddie Hearn said in the Boxing Voice interview, he said something like, oh, the fans are speaking up. He said the fans are speaking up with social media now. The fights are coming quicker. You've already declared, you know what I'm saying? And then Wilder's on this interview screaming like, I declare war. I want someone to come shut me up. Get your boy to come shut me up. It's just, man. I'm telling you. And remember I told you this was gonna happen. Fans aren't buying that stuff no more. Nobody wants another Mayweather Pacquiao exaggerated build-up thing anymore. That's just done. And I told you this was gonna happen. I told you this was gonna happen. I said the pressure was gonna get too much. And then 2 days, you know, I did that live stream. I've been saying that, but I've done recent live streams and I told you that the pressure is just, I remember I was like, I'm trying to help the UK. I'm trying to help the UK because it's not a good look with how things are playing out. You know what I mean? And the excuses fans are using and stuff like that. And a week later, Hearn's talking about, yeah, social media is big and the fans are demanding this. So they know it is. They know it. You know what I'm saying? They know that the demand is there now. They're just trying to extend it for, you know what I mean, I guess additional paydays or, you know what I mean, sell out some more on the off chance that he does lose to Wilder. I don't know. Sell out a couple more 60, 70,000 stadiums. Hey, Cash, you got to fall back because you actually were blocked because I thought you were talking to me. But stop with all that arguing. Y'all arguing in the stream is very distracting. Like, I don't have time for like little kid games, like back and forth. We're trying to talk boxing, you talking about additional shit and arguing with people. Yeah, so I mean, like I said, it's double talking. Eddie Hearn saying we acknowledge that everyone wants the fight, but let's make it in 12 months. I mean, it's just that Golden Boy, Canelo, Golovkin shit all over again, I guess. You know what I'm saying? But I'm telling you, like, each time these situations come up, it's gonna keep getting worse and worse for the participant because fans aren't playing that. You know what I'm saying? Fans aren't playing that. You admitted that people want the fight, but you're saying it should happen later to build up. What is there to build up? You just told us that people want. Oscar didn't really handle it well. To me, Canelo was looking horrible when he vacated his belt. That's not handling it well. Canelo vacated his belt, and that's all I would hear on my channel. But anyway, I don't know. It's just not a good look, man. Because fans aren't gonna put up with that, and the pressure, just like Rigondeaux Lomachenko. I really feel new media. I feel like the fans, we all integrated, and we are the cause for that fight happening. At least happening right now. Because if you listen, you guys remember Rigondeaux and Lomachenko, they had some sort of negotiations years ago, and they couldn't agree on weight and all that. But with the taunting and all that shit on social media, fight got made, didn't it? So this is just gonna be another situation like that. Because people don't want that. Wilder brought this up. That Riddick Bowe Lennox Lewis shit, like a great fight that never came off. Rigondeaux himself says new media got that fight made. See, Rigondeaux, he DM'd me and he was like, "I love new media." Yeah, Rigondeaux's all about new media because we represent all parties, especially the rose that grew from the concrete, as I like to call it, as Pac would call it. But like I said, the pressure is on, and like the Joshua Wilder, it's not going. People, listen. Oh my gosh, Eddie Hearn was right about one thing. He said the fans got a voice in social media. It's not going away. It's like like Bishop said in Juice, it's over. Everything starts from now. Like there's nothing. Once you open Pandora's box with the boxing fans, like new media, there's other YouTube channels and stuff. They at this fight's throat. Like, you know what I'm saying? Nobody's gonna release. Like, it's too big. It's bigger than that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna stop talking about it. And there's other channels that probably are talking about it hardcore and pushing for it. Nobody's gonna stop talking about it. And that's just what it is. Nobody. So it's like there's nothing you can do but to make the fight or continue to look bad, and then that's gonna influence market value and respect levels and stuff. So I think they should just make the fight. And it's worse because Wilder, he has he's barking at Joshua. You know what I'm saying? So if Joshua doesn't respond, that's not a good look to me. Well, Wilder's saying, like I said, he's talking greasy, like there won't be a second fight after what I do to you in the first fight. That's certainly a challenge. And the thing is, like, I've seen a lot of instances in boxing where it's easy to shun one person, where you could say, oh, he's not a champion, he don't deserve to fight, or this and that. But you can't really do that with these two champions. This is the hottest fight at heavyweight. And remember what I always tell y'all. Listen to what people say then and now. And what did I tell y'all several streams ago? I told y'all, if what I'm saying is bullshit, name a hotter heavyweight fight. You guys name it. Name a heavyweight fight that you think is a hotter fight than Wilder Joshua right now. Please tell me that. And if you say Tyson Fury, jump off a fucking cliff. Because Tyson Fury, he has, like, Tyson Fury's never lost in the ring. I like the dude. I like what he brings to the heavyweight division. But what he did with his career is the equivalent of losing. He lost outside of the ring. Because he lost and had to relinquish all of his belts. Some people probably lost respect. He lost he's you know what I mean, the rankings, because I haven't really seen him on rankings because he's inactive. You know what I'm saying? So it's really the equivalent. So to me, just like when a fighter gets knocked out or takes like Erickson Lubin, his loss was obviously him getting knocked out by Charlo, but now he has to climb back through the rankings. Tyson Fury pretty much has the same. You have some proving to do based on you losing outside of the ring. You know what I mean? It's to me, I look at it no different than a fighter taking a loss in the ring. Because, okay, here's my point. If Tyson Fury lost to Anthony Joshua when he was a champion, or he did what he did with the Coke and lost that way, what's really the difference? If he lost to Joshua, he would lose all of his belts, which he did, because he failed drug test, right? So it's really not even different. There's really no difference between what happened to his career, and losing in the ring. The only difference is you go to his box rec and it'll still show the 0. You know what I'm saying? That's the only difference. But the results are still the same. You have no belts. You have no ranking. You're not as relevant as you could have been. It's really the same. You know what I'm saying? So to me, that's why you can't say I like Tyson Fury. Like I said, all the singing and the shit talk, I like that shit. But again, that doesn't change the fact that I think he has some proving to do. He has to climb back up the ladder. He has to climb up a ladder to lose some weight to be fit for competition. You know, he's too big right now. You know what I'm saying? So not just the mythical ladder. He has to literally climb up ladders, do some Stairmaster, do something to get his weight back down to what it was when he was competing. So to me, until otherwise proven, we don't know what Tyson Fury will do. We know what the fighter he was, and that was a very good boxer and a threat to anybody. But until he climbs back up the ladder, we don't know. Because like I said, Tyson Fury, if you really think about it, he's done this. I'm losing weight, and then he said he was retiring, and then he gained more weight. You know what I'm saying? So Tyson Fury has to show us something. Like, put it this way. All right, say my channel. I hope you guys are listening. Say my channel's popping, like right now. My YouTube channel's popping. We just got verified or whatever. And then let's say I just stopped making videos for 2 years. You don't know what the fuck will happen in 2 years if I'm gone off the boxing scene. I'm sure other people will come up, new guys will come up, and then that's like me saying, you know what? I was going through something in life. I took 2 years off, and now I'm back. I'm back on the YouTube scene. It could be a whole different crowd. Like there might be some of the same people that remember me, but I ain't done shit in 2 years. You know what I'm saying? So I would have to earn just like what I'm telling Tyson Fury, I would have to do that too. If I literally disappear for 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would have to climb back up. Build the faith again. I couldn't just come back like, y'all 2 years ago, you remember how great my YouTube channel was, even though I ain't done shit since then, and I had personal problems that were well documented. I'm still the same YouTube. You know what I mean? I would lose subscribers in that time. You have to work your way back up. And so it's really the same thing. And I'm no fool. I know if, like, no matter how hot you are, because you know what? I told you I'm a movie buff. Y'all want some movie trivia? Y'all want some movie trivia? I'll give you some movie trivia, and I'll tie this all in, because y'all know I'm the king of analogies. Do y'all want movie trivia? Y'all have to put movie trivia or put hell yeah if y'all want some movie trivia that relates to this. I know Gracie Poo wants it. Y'all want some movie trivia? To relate okay, cool. So, do you guys know the actor Josh Hartnett? Good actor. So, a little bit of movie trivia. He was going through something in his personal life. You guys can look this up. He was going through some metamorphosis, whatever the fuck he was doing. He was going through some time. Director Christopher Nolan, who did Inception, I forgot the new war movie he did. Starts with the R. Fuck, I can't think of it. But anyway, he did The Dark Knight and a lot of dope movies. Anyway, he wanted Josh Hartnett to be Batman in the Dark Knight series, not Christian Bale. He wanted Josh Hartnett to be Bruce Wayne. He did The Faculty. Yep, that Othello remake. Oh, right? Dunkirk. Thank you. That was killing me. I don't know why I thought it started with the R. But anyway, Chris Nolan wanted Josh Hartnett to play Batman, right? In the Dark Knight series, though, you know what I mean, the one that went on famous. He later lost his life and played a great Joker and stuff like that. and Josh Hartnett turned it down, and like he moved back to wherever he's from, Minnesota or wherever he's from. He moved back home and didn't do movies for 18 months or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But I guess what Josh Hartnett was saying is, at the time, everything was, he was on top. Like at that time, when they wanted him to be in the Batman movie, he was like, and he didn't like the feeling of being able to go. He felt like he was losing himself for some weird shit. He couldn't go anywhere, go to Starbucks or whatever. He couldn't do any of that. And the limelight was getting too much. So he stepped away from Hollywood, turned down a major role, which is almost a no-no in Hollywood. Like, you know what I mean? A director is giving you an opportunity for something that would later be a franchise, and you just like turn it down, not because you're tied up with another role, but because you're on some weirdo shit. You know what I mean? And I guess he was supposed to be in the other movie, The Prestige, and then they put Christian Bale in it, who played Batman. So basically, Josh Hartnett fucked up, moved back home, and he was away from acting, and he passed up a movie like Batman, which put Christian Bale on and made a lot of money and made multiple sequels, right? So that relates to what I was saying too, is because Josh Hartnett, when he turned down Batman, his whole career was popping. He was in a lot of movies, and he was on like The People's Most Beautiful Men, or you know, people be doing all that shit. And he turned down the role for whatever reason, turned it down, and then disappeared and left Hollywood for 18 months or 20 months or whatever. And then he tries to come back, and his career's never rebounded. Josh Hartnett, some people probably don't even know who he is now. You know what I'm saying? So that's the same thing with Tyson Fury. You can't just disappear for 2 years and just pick up like nothing happened, because a lot has changed. Your belts got spread out. Joseph Parker got one of them. Joshua got 2 of them. Wilder's knocking people's ponytails through the ropes. Lots changed. So I think Tyson Fury just has to prove, he has some proving to do, and that's customary if you disappear. That's what happened to the guy who acted as Willy Wonka in the chocolate. Who, Gene Wilder? Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah, you can't, like, that's what I'm saying. Some people just, things get too much for them, and then they disappear. But people, out of sight, out of mind. There's another teen heartthrob or whatever actor that's going to be getting your roles. The director that you turned down is not going to forget it. You know what I mean? So it's just a wrap. And you can't just, oh, okay, I got my life together now, I want roles now. And like, Josh Hartnett ain't been in no big movies since. What has Josh Hartnett been? He had a TV show or some shit, but he ain't really been in no leading roles or anything ever since he made that decision. So, like I said, situation like that, when you disappear, other people step in and step up, and you have to come back and work your way back up. That's how I look at it. What about Harvey Weinstein? He's a rapist. Oh man. So, yeah, to me, there's no bigger fight in heavyweight than Wilder Joshua. Period. Devin Haney, he didn't fight tonight, did he? I thought he fought last Friday or Saturday in Atlanta. I'm about to wrap it up. I just got home. I ain't done nothing. I just ate something. I had a long day of traveling. I just want to really shout out to Boxing Voice for that interview. And yeah, I hit Jacobs up. He's the man. Let's do a quick roll call. I'm about to try to get some sleep today. God's Boxing Corner, $10 super chat. He said, "What's good, Ego? Was it you that created the new media movement?" Yeah, it was kind of a collaboration. It was just It was really me and Dante's Boxing Nation. We were just, I think, having a conversation, and we were just talking, and we, you know, we just, as basic as it sounds, we wanted to create a media that would, you know how they came out with FUBU, for us, by us. It's the same way, but it's just is going to give spotlight to the fighters and styles and shit that get shunned in boxing and shitted on, and not just them, but everybody. You know what I mean? Like, let's have equal standards for boxing instead of these double standards. You know what I mean? So it was a collaborative thing. But yeah, man, I'm glad it did come about, because now you see, like, I feel like since new media came on the scene, it's like there's a new sheriff in town. There's new outlooks. Like, even, like, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but I even see it. I see people at the media days asking different types of questions that I never seen them ask, and the whole time I've seen their channels before, but now all of a sudden they're asking different types of questions, like talking about double standards or racing. Like, I ain't never seen you ask questions like that. But it is what it is. The more the merrier. I just want good fights. It was right for boxing. Yeah, I mean, so many people get overlooked in the boxing game based on politics, and it's just not right. I mean, even the rigging outside. I mean, I'm hyped about the Lomachenko fight, but if you think about it, it is kind of fucked up. He had people who were closer in weight and weren't necessarily two-time Olympic gold medalists like Lomachenko, right? 2 divisions higher, that he could have and should have fought for his resume, and there would probably be easier fights, and he never got them. Scott Quigg, Carl Frampton, Leo Santa Cruz, Adam Amata, one of them guys, you know what I'm saying? But he got blackballed, tarred and feathered, and he didn't get none of them. And now he has to, like, if you just really look at it, he has to jump up 2 weight classes to fight a 2-time Olympic gold medalist like himself, right? Just to get respect on a top rank card. Well, you know what I mean? I know Rock Nation has a part in it, but it's really a top rank card. You know what I'm saying? So things are stacked against him, and that's what he had to do for his risk. And you know, it's a lot of the people that I always talk about, like, that they have to do these great length things, like, and the other fan favorites from ESPN and HBO and Jim Lampley, the people that they're praising, right? They never have to do that. For example, right? Kell Brook had to jump 2 weight classes to challenge Triple G. But Triple G didn't have to move 1 weight class, and there was no pressure, really, outside of people like me and a couple other people, for Triple G to move up 1 weight class to fight Andre Ward when he was at 168. Why? Why not? But Rigondeaux has to move up 2 divisions to fight an Olympic gold medalist, right? Kell Brook had to move up 2 divisions. Triple G never moved out 1 division. Why? You know what I mean? And there's no pressure to do it. You know what I mean? Ward had to move up, and within 3 fights, fight the biggest killer at light heavyweight, the biggest proven killer. You know what I mean? There's other, the Bivol and Better Be, but those guys are so low on the totem pole because they haven't had the names to fully prove where they're at. You know what I mean? They look to be the goods, but you can't, until you beat a name like Kovalev had beat when he fought Ward, like the Bernard Hopkins, then you're not in his class. Even if you can beat him, you have to fight him and beat him to show us that. You know what I mean? So until they have the better names on the resume, then you can't necessarily put them over. Can't put them over Kovalev. So, you know what I mean? Ward had to move up, and within 2 fights, his 3rd fight, he had to fight Kovalev. But you don't see the pressure for other guys to do that. You know what I mean? Lomachenko and Mikey Garcia had an issue. Lomachenko didn't have to move up to 35 to fight Mikey Garcia, and Mikey Garcia pulled up in the green screen room on him at the Mariaga fight. But instead, Lomachenko gets to stay where he's a champion. Rigondeaux has to move up 2 divisions. You know what I'm saying? So that's just the way of the world. Do I think Kovalev and Adonis will fight? I gotta see how Kovalev looks, to be honest, because I have my doubts, to be honest. And it's not necessarily. I'm not saying 100% Shabransky, because he's a guy who got stopped himself too. They both got stopped in recent memory, so I don't know if Shabransky's necessarily the one to do it. I haven't seen Shabransky fight too much. I've seen his fights, like a couple of them, Sullivan Barrera and a couple others. And I know he's sparring with Canelo, but I don't know if it's him. But I keep telling y'all, I really would not be surprised if Kovalev does not look like the same fighter. The way he's acting, man. And see, the thing is, you have to understand personalities and shit. You know what I mean? Certain people's personalities aren't equipped to bounce back. You know what I mean? Like, Kovalev seems like a bully, and from what John David Jackson said, he's kind of egotistical. So, back-to-back war losses, trust me, that's had some kind of effect on his psyche. Because John David Jackson was like, he puts his emblem on everything, and it's true. Like, I've seen All Access, and I see that K Crusher red logo on hella stuff and on his car and all that. So, you know what I mean? Different things like that. So, if you talked all that shit about Ward and ending his boxing career, you know, it's just kind of like, maybe not as bad, but Bermane Stavern, Erickson Lubin, similar situation. Nobody wants to talk a whole bunch and then get stopped by the person they were talking about. Let's do a quick roll call. I'm about to KO. Let's do a Boxingego roll call. I'm gonna rest up and I'll be back tomorrow. Texas in the building. Where else y'all? Where y'all from? North Carolina. Well, I guess that's it. Y'all typing too slow. Detroit, H-Town. My Gracie Poo from the LA. Harlem. Manhattan, Chirac, London, Houston, Des Moines, Iowa, Sonora, Detroit, Cardiff, New Zealand, Augusta, Georgia. Yeah, I'm gonna rest up. I'm on different time zone. I just feel tired. That New York shit is like 3 hours ahead from, shout out to Indiana and Cleveland. New York is 3 hours ahead, so it feels later for me because I've been there for a little under a week. And now I'm back in California. It's 3 hours slower, but I'm just tired. Oakland, California. And I was on my flight felt long too, so I'm about to get out of here. But holla at me tomorrow. And we back. Ego the movement, Ego Army, Ego Mafia. This is the mob, money on top of boxing. Thank you guys for tuning in.